Hello, everyone. First off, let me say I hope everybody was okay from the weather. I hope all your families were safe and dry, and my prayers are going out to everyone. If you had any family that was in need, today I want to talk to you about creating your personal learning networks. A lot of you talked about you want some more webinars. So I decided I'm going to grant you this gift before we leave for the summer break. And this is a pretty big one. So I want you to just take your time and look at it. I'm trying to get through this in under 10 minutes. So again, this is about creating your personal learning network through social media using Twitter. And then I'm going to talk about how you're going to get your hours. And I'm giving you a lot. So I'm giving you 3. So by the time you leave campus, if you decide to do this, I'm going to grant you 3 hours. And I will tell you how to do that at the end. So what is it? What is a PLN, or what I've been reading recently, a P squared LM? PLNs are personal professional learning networks, or if you're going to use the whole entire thing, P squared LN, you'll use both the words, professional personal learning network. PLN, again, is personal or professional learning network, whichever you prefer. And of course, they're different from PLCs. PLCs are our departments, are groups within our campus community. When we're talking about a PLN, we're trying to reach out nationally, globally, etc., to other people who are outside of our campus, who are outside of our district. That's basically what a PLN is in a nutshell. So again, to add to the purpose of a PLN, it is to help you grow in your field. If you have been a math teacher for a couple years and you're wanting to get more knowledge, you want to grow more in your math content, for example, you want to reach out to others. And sometimes, you just can't reach out to other math people at a certain time. Well, when you have a PLN, you can have control. You can reach out to fellow math teachers who are even outside of your own network, to get resources and to connect with others. Okay, so this is to help you grow. It's not about just trying to get hours. We want to shy away from, I'm just want to do this so I can get professional development hours. We are in the field of education. We are here not just to get our kids to grow and succeed, but we're also here to grow and succeed in our profession. So yes, there are some aspects to getting hours, but you really want to focus your PLN on working with others who are outside of your district, or maybe on another campus or from another country, state, whatever. And you're using them to get resources, and they're using you to get resources. You're collaborating, you're sharing. It's not just about, I need to get some hours. Where can I go to get other hours? Okay, so let's talk about Twitter. And I know Twitter gets a bad rap for how it's being used as social media. And I have a couple of examples for you. I have our buddy Mickey here. And when I first introduced Twitter to you guys, I know some people are like, ooh, I'm not sure. I'm a little bit uncomfortable with that. But the more you start getting involved in your PLN, the more you'll see that Twitter is a great resource to get information and to, once again, connect with others. So I'm here to kind of take some of those myths out of the way of what a Twitter account should look like if you're an educator. So let's use the word educator Twitter account, because I think that will make you feel more comfortable. So let's look at this example of what we all perceive Twitter to be. So here's my buddy Mickey Mouse here. So he has a regular Twitter account. Let's take a look. So first off, let's take a look at his picture. He's pretty cool. Whatever. Looks like he's fun to hang around with. So then he has his nickname here, and he has his Twitter handle right here at dismick123. And then look at his bio: ready to hang out at the bars and clubs and party all night long. Okay, that's what you typically would see probably in a social Twitter account. The things that you would see on TV, the things that you probably see on your phone, the things that you probably have on your phone from other people, from other followers. Okay, and then a website that he's connected to, mtv.com. Okay, this is just an example. This is something where, okay, I might want to follow him for fun, but I'm not really wanting to connect with him on an educational level. So then look at his tweets. His tweets, as far as education are concerned, are not really connected. This is not something that you would want to use to connect yourself with professionally. Now, let me just be clear. I personally think that it is okay to have your for fun Twitter account. I'm not saying never ever do anything socially, but there's a time and a place. Okay, you can have your professional educator Twitter account, and then you can have your for fun one, but you need to be clear in keeping those two separate. Okay, if you only want to connect with professional people, then you connect with those professional people and you follow them, and you constantly follow to see what they're putting out there. If you don't like what they're putting out there, then you just unfollow them. You disconnect from them. That is the main thing. You put in what you want to put into your Twitter account. If you have a for fun one, don't let your professional people around you find your for fun one. If you have your principal, don't send them your Twitter page. Like promote that one if you do something professionally. Okay, so like look at the sayings that he's saying. He's saying, staying out late, hungover, and I don't want to go to work, and coming up with Bugs Bunny, his friend, coming up with excuses not to go to work. And then this little post right here: friend bought us tons of drinks, check out the pic. Do you think you really, if you would have an educator's Twitter account, that you would post a pic of what drinks you have, as long if they're not water? Hint hint. That's something that you don't want to do. Then just other social things. Wow, I got some phone numbers. Oh wow, look, Miss Jessica Rabbit said this is the place to be. This is what we typically, I know this may be exaggerated, it could be even worse, but this is what we typically think of when we see Twitter. And that's why we kind of are shying away from, oh, I'm not sure about doing that, and I'm sure about connecting myself with that. I don't want anybody finding out things that I do. And I perfectly understand that. And so this is where we have to stop, and we have to educate professionals on how this is being used. So let me show you another example. So here's another example of my buddy Aang from Avatar: The Last Airbender. As you can tell, I like cartoons. So, and I think they give pretty good examples. To have an educator Twitter account also means that you're not pushing out your strong views on a particular topic, religion, your standpoint on whatever it is you want to stand up for, and boast your opinion about that. Boast your opinion about. That's not what this is. Now, there are certain issues in education that you may feel passionate about, but again, you need to be careful when you're connecting with your educator, professional people, that you are mindful of what you say. We are using Twitter to connect with others, to get resources. It's nothing more than just a glorified professional development on your time. So the things that say Aang are saying, he's making fun of a certain type of cartoon people. His friend Magneto, he has his stance on what on mutants, and then so on and so forth. Okay, that's not what we want this educator Twitter to be. And if you notice, when you look at Magneto's picture, you don't see his face at all. You just see someone hiding behind it. That's not what an educator Twitter account is. We want to see your face. We want to know who you are so we can connect with you. Okay, we want to know who we're connecting with. Okay, this is all about connecting and being positive and helping each other grow. So this is something that we don't want to see. So again, if I can go back, as educators, we are not using Twitter to be social and have fun and talk about what we did last night at the club or anything like that. We're not using Twitter for that, and we're not using Twitter to make a stance on a particular topic or religion or whatnot. Now, let me make this perfectly clear. It is okay if you have a certain stance that you want to talk about, if you have that social fun aspect side of you that you want to talk about. I think that is perfectly fine. Whatever it is that you stand for or whatever it is that you want to do, that's fine. But again, you need to keep that separate from your professional educator's Twitter account. So that means you're going to have to manage too. Yes, I know that's pretty scary, but if you think about this, you are at work more than you are literally at home. So sometimes for me, I go on ahead and I just turn on my professional Twitter account, and it takes some practice. It really does, to get into that rhythm. You don't have to be married to being on your account all day long, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. So what does a PLN professional Twitter account look like? Take a look at this. Take a look at my buddy Scrooge McDuck and his friend Mr. Peabody. If you are an educator and you have a PLN, this is kind of how you would follow each other. Okay, so he has his name and he has his Twitter account, so we know who he is, and he has a bio. This is what's going to make me want to connect with him. He is a math and science teacher who loves to educate on how to bring science and math together in his classroom. Okay, I really want to follow this guy, and he has his own website. You do not need to have your own website. This is just something that if you have it, you want to add it, you can. Okay? So let's look at the conversations that are going on between Scrooge McDuck and Mr. Peabody. First off, we already like the fact that we already see their profiles. We already know who they are. Okay? Scrooge McDuck is talking about he is looking for a website or a program that can have students learning math and having fun at the same time, but still related to the TEKS. He's throwing that question out there. He doesn't know where to go, or he's just reaching out to people other than the people who are around him at that particular time. Maybe he wants to see what other people are thinking outside of his campus, outside of his district. So Mr. Peabody is something, why don't you check out Prodigy Game? It does this, it does this, 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 and you might like it. Okay? So that's a link that's already posted on the Twitter page, and you can go check it out. FYI, Miss Manley, if you're listening, or any math teachers, if you're listening, these links are true sites. So when I share this with you, you can actually look at it, and I will talk to you later about what Prodigy Game is, because it's really cool. So don't sign up for it yet, because I got something in store for the math teachers and actually the whole campus. So then if you look at the next thing from Scrooge McDuck, he's talking about how he wants to join a Twitter chat. And we're going to get into that later. But he has at the end, I'm ready to talk to you at #text@edutech. This is an actual real Twitter chat site. So you can take a look at this, okay? Anything that's linked in blue is real. So I'm actually giving you resources as I am showing you this webinar, okay? Now, Mr. Peabody replies back, or replies later, saying that, look at what this great teacher did in the classroom when they're trying to collaborate instead of doing a worksheet. This is what they did, and he shows the link, okay? And then Scrooge McDuck goes back and replies again later on about, hey, if you wanted to talk about classroom management, which refers to what he's going to talk about in the edu chat right here, I want you to check out classcraft.com. This is a great site. It's a game. It's like World of Warcraft, and it's Class Dojo for classroom management. You need to look at it. And he gives the link. Again, you guys, These links are real. So what are we looking at here? This is how an educator's PLN is supposed to work. There is nothing foul. There's nothing derogatory going on. It's about promoting and helping each other out. Okay, this is what an example of what an educator Twitter account is. This is what it should look like. Okay, so again, this is what you want. Not this one, not this one, but this model. This is a good model to feed off of. Okay, this is what you want. So again, the most important message about Twitter and any social media when you want to put it in education or just for your own personal use, you get out of it what you put into it. You get out what you put in. You control your network. This is a heated subject, because we want to blame social media for everything, but if you really stop and think about it, it's just a platform that a couple people are making a lot of money off of. Okay, they really step back and they let the advertisers do their thing, but we as a society, we're putting in what we want to put in and we're getting out what we want to get out. We have a choice to make it meaningful or make it hurtful, and we really want to make it meaningful. Okay, when it comes to especially education, really when it comes to both, but especially when we want to create our PLNs. So how in the world is this going to work while we're on campus? Okay, we cannot be on our computers going on Twitter. Number one, we are not allowed to get on it because we can't log into it at school. That's just not going to work. Well, if we have our own mobile devices, if we have our own Wi-Fi, our own 4G, 3G, whatever G we have, we can connect to Twitter that way, mobily. And that's what we want to do, because let's face it, not anytime soon will you see Twitter go on the computers, nor do we want to see teachers behind the desk making tweets every 5 seconds. They need to be teaching. They need to be teaching. So this is what I'm suggesting. We are going to use our mobile devices so we can create our PLNs and we can tweet during the day, in between classes, while we're doing transitions, while we're still focusing on classroom management. Let me make that clear. We're still focusing on classroom management, but as we see our administrators or people above our administrators walking by and they see us on our phones, we are showing them that we are connecting on Twitter for educational purposes. We are sending stuff out as resources to help our school grow, and we need to physically show this is what we're doing. So we are using Twitter for a specific reason. Okay, that is the goal for the campus within the next year. This is what I'm going to show you when we come back and have our staff development on how we can use this effectively. Okay. So now I bet you everybody's asking, how are we going to get this credit? Okay, I'm giving you 3 hours. Why am I giving you 3 hours? Because it is a lot. There's a lot to do to get this 3 hours if you are interested. The first thing that you're going to have to do is you're going to have to log in and create your own educator Twitter account. Okay, that's step number 1. After you do that, you're going to share your Twitter handle on the Google form so that others can eventually follow you. Okay, and the Twitter form looks something like this. So once you click on the link, you'll see that there's a whole bunch of questions, and it's a lot of questions. Okay, it's about 15 questions, and this is where you'll get your information. You'll put down your information. Okay, so and the links are hyperlinks. So I will share this out with you. So whatever you see that's in blue, that's hyperlink. It's going to take you where you need to go. The third thing that you're going to do is you're going to need to follow these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people or organizations. Okay, these are going to help you get started. You're going to follow Aldi. You're going to follow Eckert. Miss Anderson, I'm putting you out there. You're going to follow Miss Smiley 1313. She needs some followers. You're going to follow my group, Paperless Guys. You're going to follow TCCA 2014. And you're also going to follow me on my education Twitter account, Professor X 1130. Okay, so you're going to follow those main people or organizations, and then you will I'll check to see if you are following them. You can send me, Mr. Harris, a screenshot via email, so I can say, okay, I see that this person is doing this, so I'm going to give them, I'm going to start them with that credit, and I will document that. You will also need to follow a Twitter chat, okay? And that is hyperlinked. So if you have any questions like, okay, well, what is that? I'm not understanding what that is. I have that hyperlink for you so you can take the time to learn what that is. I recommend following, you may not be able to see it under this black slide. It's a text EduChat. I do recommend following that to see what they have to offer. They have a lot of good topics and great people to connect with that are outside of our campus, outside of our district. You need to also participate in a Twitter chat, okay? That Twitter chat link in number 4 will show you how to do that. I'm not going to stop and show you how to do that. You can read about that on your own. And I want you to be able to see your Twitter chat. So all you need to do is just send me a quick screenshot and email me that, and I will give you that credit. Okay. Step number 5, you need to read the excerpt from What Connected Educators Do Differently by Mr. Whitaker, Mr. Zoll, and Mr. Casas. I hope I'm saying that name correctly. But those three people, they talk about what it means to get connected as educators, to have those Twitter accounts. So the sections that you're going to be looking at are the power of Twitter and growing your P2LN. Okay, and again, that is hyperlinked for you. Step number 6 is you're going to read the EduBlog, Building Your PLN, and that is hyperlinked as well. You're going to read steps 1 through 5, then go to 8, and then go to 10. You do not need to do the Your Task section because this whole thing is your one big task, so you don't need to do that. But in step C, you're going to write what you learned from one of the VoiceThread comments in step 1. So let me take you to that VoiceThread comment really quickly. Okay, so when you get to step 1, you'll scroll down and you'll find the VoiceThread comment, okay? So I'm not asking you to sign up. I'm not asking you to register. I'm not asking you to do anything like that to get on voicethread.com. All you got to do is take your mouse and hover over one of the people, and some answers will pop up, some won't. Let's see if we can find one. Okay, so if you just click on one or hover over the mouse, they'll give you why they're in a PLN. Okay, some have an audio that you can listen to. Okay, so I just will need a response or a comment, and that will be in the form on how you are supposed to answer the why the VoiceThread question when you see it on the form. Okay, so then I want you to.
Hi, Michael. This is Clive from the UK, formerly in.
Sorry about that. Then you're going to go back and you're going to go to step number 7. And then I want you to post something you learned about in the webinar to @Eckert Eagles, @Miss Smiley 1313, and @Professor X 1130. And then at the end of your post, so be careful, remember you only have so many characters. At the end of your post, you're going to put #EagleNewPLN. Take a look. I'm going to go back at the example that Scrooge McDuck and Mr. Peabody did, okay? So when you're on a Twitter chat, this is just a short little summary. Every time you want to connect with that Twitter chat section, you want to put hashtag and then the name of the Twitter chat. So this one for the text edu chat, for example, Scrooge McDuck put, can't wait to participate in your Twitter chat tonight about classroom management ideas. And he put the person's name and then hashtag text EduChat. Okay, so that's how you connect with that Twitter chat. So then when you go on the search part, I'll just click on that really quickly. As right now, you can't see anything yet because I haven't started it. But when you connect to it, all you have to do is search for the hashtag that was given to you, and you can start following that thread. Okay, so let me go back here. Okay, now let's actually backtrack for a minute about what the EduBlog link actually looks like. Okay, so when you click on the EduBlog, no matter if it's step 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, it's going to give you what your goals, what you're going to learn, and then you follow. Then you just basically you're reading. Okay, there are some videos there. Some of them are no more than 2 minutes long, so it's not too bad. Okay, and then again, once you get to that voice thread, you'll click on a person's name, and you'll either read the comment or you'll hear their voice thread as you heard earlier. So for this particular step 1, there's some videos, there's a voice thread, and this actually helps you a lot with your Google form questions. Again, you do not need to do your task because your task is what I'm giving you now. Okay. So going back to number 7, when you post your something that you learned in the webinar, you need to make sure that it's a positive comment. I don't want, oh, I didn't learn anything. This wasn't fun. I need something constructive, okay? It must be related to the webinar and the tools provided from what you've learned from this little webinar that I'm giving you now and from the PowerPoint, okay? And then number 8, you'll click here to answer the questions about the webinar. That just goes straight to the Google form. So number 8 and number 7, when you click on the blue links, they connect you straight to the form. Okay, so I know this is a little over 10 minutes, but I want to again put this out there, and this is how you're going to get your 3 hours of credit. So I know that's a lot, so that's actually pretty great. So you'll walk out of school with 3 hours of credit going to your Invest for next year, for the new school year. So I think that's pretty cool. So your rules again, you will receive 3 credit hours to complete the forms from the last slide, all the steps, okay? The form is time sensitive. The form is not going to be there all day long. The form will end Friday night, June 5th. That is our very last day of school, okay? So you'll have up until midnight to turn in to do the form, okay? I will not open that form back up, so please do not email me asking, can you please open it back up? I missed it, can you please open it back up? I'm giving you guys 2 weeks, a little less than 2 weeks, but it's a little long. You know, you have the weekends too. And I'm giving you that time to get all this done. Now, again, as far as the form is concerned, I know it's a lot. It's 15 questions. So here's what I recommend you do. Don't sit here and commit yourself to sitting here to answer this form and then you lose everything. What I recommend you do is you highlight this whole entire form like I'm doing now. Highlight the whole entire thing. Copy it, and then paste it in a Google Doc or paste it in Word. Here are all the questions here. I'm not sharing these questions with you. You need to do that on your own, but this is a good suggestion. Highlight the form with the questions and paste it onto another document. This way, all you have to do is type in your answers, and then you can just paste as you go. So when you're finally ready to paste in the form, you can just copy paste. This is a lot easier. I would rather do this, work on a document, than sit there and having to commit myself to the form just to get it done. I hope that makes sense for you guys, okay? So I'm not giving extra time on this. From the moment I send this out, the form will be timed. So when it goes off, it goes off. And then once everything's said and done, you will get your certificate emailed to you. It will be emailed to your Alden account, not your summer account, your Alden account. Okay. So again, I hope all this information is making sense to you. I tried to condense it as much as I can. And again, the hashtags to follow from the webinar is Eagle New PLN. And then I'm actually tagging another one too. The goal for Twitter is once you have this Twitter account open, I want us to have a dialogue. I want us to have a conversation going. So I want to promote how we are always learning, even in the summer. So whenever you're with your kids or whenever you're out shopping or whatever it is that you're doing, and you see that teachable moment, like, oh man, I wish I could have this documented somehow. This is when you pull out your mobile device, you take a picture, or you just say something, and then you tag at the end, hashtag Eckert Learning. This way, this promotes how we're learning all the time. The goal is I would love to see this when we come back in the fall in our staff development, to see like all the stuff that everybody's been talking about, what everybody's learning. Even if you go to a staff development, a professional development in the summer, and you saw something that was really cool. Oh, I learned this new app. This app is great. Hashtag Eckert Learning. Okay, and for the webinar, again, it's hashtag Eagle New PLN. Okay, so you guys, I hope you have a good summer. I hope to hear from a lot of you this summer. Again, this is the first big webinar. I'm giving a lot of hours, 3 hours. That's going to be great. So if all you do is 3 hours, by the time we come back, hopefully you'll try to do more every now and then, but during the summer. But 3 hours is a good way to start off your summer coming back into the fall. So I will talk to you guys later. Have a good day.